See, this motherfucker's laughable because you look at him and you're like, he talks all this shit about like being superior, whatever. But like, I would fuck Trump up. Like your basic high school teenager would fuck that guy up in a fight.
Any.
He's just like,
I was gonna say, girl or guy could fuck Trump up.
Yeah, really.
It takes one person to put him in a noogie, mess that hair up.
Just be like, you know,
Mr. he's like Christian Bale in American Hustlers. American Hustle, right?
Yeah.
Where he gets his hair messed up by Bradley Cooper, and he has to turn to Amy Adams. He's like, how's the hair? And she's like, she comes over and fixes it. She's like, it's okay, honey, it's okay. Like, you just mess his hair up, and he throw his entire game off.
Woo, shit.
But no, if I had to look at one, Mike Pence or Donald Trump, look at Donald Trump, because you look the devil in the eye.
Okay. I mean, I like the angst that you had in that. I don't buy it coming out of your mouth, but I okay, yeah.
I like that I even have my headphones plugged in.
So good.
Oh, there you go.
Super choice right there, dude.
Super choice. Don't touch the mic. See if you notice this one. Oh, not that. Hold on.
The popping? I know that pretty well. Oh, this is the sample that they took it from.
Yeah.
The original. What was this? What was it?
Snoop Dogg!
Yeah. That's such a really smart piece of... That was a great sample.
Yeah.
It really was. You just fart?
No. Are you doing that off of sound or smell?
Off of sound. You walked over, there was a short little hurt before you cocked over the chair, and there was another little hurt.
Before I did the Riker, threw my leg over the chair.
When you did the Riker.
No, these floors are they're old, so if you walk, they squeak.
Right. The floors, huh?
Wow. So you know all about old floors.
You descended into the dad zone.
Don't act like you don't know about floors.
Yikes.
Welcome to What We Into.
You want to introduce yourself?
No, it's
Yeah, I'm your boy Rob Carmen Robinson, and with me, as always,
is Lauren Style,
the man, the myth, the legend. So what's been up, man?
I just thought the man, the myth, the legend, the venereal disease.
Sorry, mister. You have the Lauren Style.
You have the Lauren Style. Not the Lauren Style.
Is it curable? No, you have 3 hours.
3 hours before your penis falls off.
Kiss everyone you love.
Oh, not much, man. It's all good this week. It's been a week.
You want to speak about it? You want to get?
Nah, we spoke about it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it was okay. It was a week that I did not feel great through, and now I feel better.
And you didn't feel great because of the physical limitations of your own human body.
So if Nicole, our official What We Into massage therapist,
boom, say it right,
is out there, the Paraformers came back
in a huge way, but
it may not actually be the Paraformers, but it was something about my hips.
But we discovered some shit.
Yes, we did.
Okay.
Rob and I discovered through lots of rubbing and Vaseline.
I was not here,
and
I was.
It might actually not be running or any of the other activities I thought was causing it.
Tell
the
listeners
dysfunction.
What you did. Tell the listeners what you discovered.
I think for all you yoga people out there, it is the pigeon pose. The pigeon pose is harming me. I've been doing the pigeon pose.
And I've been railing against pigeons for forever.
Yeah, fuck pigeons.
Fuck them totally. We shouldn't even do anything like them. They're gross.
I just realized that it's called the pigeon pose is because you got one leg that's kind of pulled up towards your nuts. Like your nuts are almost resting.
Or if you don't have nuts, your vagina.
Your vagina. But you're not supposed to really rest your nuts or your vagina on your heel.
No, I don't think you're
That's
supposed
how
to
I
do
was
that.
doing it wrong. I was going way too into it. And
so you were injuring yourself.
I was injuring. I think this is it. It could not be. Next week I'll be back on the podcast and I'll be like, oh, it wasn't the pigeon pose, you guys. You know what it was?
Oh, guys, it was all that drinking.
It was all that vaping. Did you hear about vaping?
Yeah, I did.
4 News at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, I did. I heard about vaping in the morning to ban it, but we can't even talk about guns.
No.
We can't even talk about guns, but they're like, yo, this flavored vape shit, it's got to go.
It's got to go.
Because a few stupid motherfuckers died.
Like 480 or something.
Yeah.
I don't know if how many died, but 480 people are like.
That's still that's still a relatively small amount of motherfuckers for as many people who do that shit.
Like if you told me 480 vape pens this year blew up in people's pockets, I'd be like, all right, that's
yeah, I'd be like, that's part of the course.
That sounds about right.
What was that? Arizona?
Yeah, how many are temperature? How many are out there? Like 700 million. Apparently, it's worse than that, though. Apparently, that it's not necessarily. From what I read, it's linked to THC and the way that they're refining THC to put into those pins.
Fuck out of here! So they're going to blame it on weed?
Maybe.
Of course,
they're still doing tests.
See, this is where I don't feel bad for anybody that's involved with any of this shit, because when vaping kind of became a thing, people went out and just went hard. They went completely ham, and without ever really kind of considering, they don't really have all the kinks worked out for this shit yet. So maybe I shouldn't be like sucking on this thing 24/7 and
people really
and entering contests to blow ships in the wind like I'm Gandalf the goddamn Grey. You know what I'm saying?
Your love of the halfling's leaf has clearly slowed your mind.
So, like, I saw it come up in the feed and I didn't even want to read it. I was like, you know what? Fuck them.
You also don't vape at all, though.
Why would I?
I know.
I like the plant material.
I don't vape tobacco. But you're exactly what I thought about with this.
With this? Yeah. I was like, nah, man. Honestly, I think vaping has potential, but, like, it's not going to be my go-to.
Yeah.
Like, for me, it's always going to be sort of like a secondary, a backup, even like a tertiary.
Right.
I just prefer the plant material. I honestly, if I'm being honest, I prefer to just eat it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just definitely prefer to eat it.
You just take the whole bud and put it in your mouth?
Well,
chew it
up? I bake it into something. Maybe
do you have
like
some water at least to wash it down?
Cookie or some sort of
some
moist
lasagna
cake or something.
I make a pot lasagna,
which I hear would be delectable.
It takes me 6 hours.
Well, fucking with you,
I'm ready to get stoned by 6 hours.
That's how you cook. Like whenever you're like, hey, come over. We're cooking. We're having dinner at XYZ time. I'm like, okay. Now, the way Lawrence cooks, we add 3 hours, so we'll be eating at 9. All right, I'll be there at 8:30, motherfucker.
Yeah, but now I'm throwing you off. Now I'm starting to, like, schedule the grill right when it's in the text. So when you show up, it's all cold, and you're late, and you're like, oh,
That's
man.
True. The last couple of times I did show up and the food was already, like, cooked, and, like, people were eating. I was like, what the hell's going on around here?
You're going to have to split the difference. You have to show up half an hour after I tell you.
Yeah, I don't like you playing me like a sucker anymore like that, man. If you say one time, stick to that commitment. Commit to that time.
Speaking of lasagna, it was my sister's birthday yesterday.
I know. Sisters, plural.
Sisters, Mary and Charlotte. The reason I said sister is because Charlotte had a party, and the kids went over there last night.
Charlotte had a party?
And
why wasn't I invited, Char?
That's a good question. You could have gone.
I'm saying she got mad single friends.
Yeah.
I see how you do me.
It was only Laurel and Amanda.
Oh.
and my kids.
I didn't mean to say that sounded. Look, I think Amanda is gorgeous, and Laurel equally is gorgeous. They're beautiful, beautiful ladies. But I mean, I know them. They don't want nothing to do with me. They're like, I feel like if Char was like, "Hey, come to my party, whatever," and then I show up, and I'm the one guy. I'm like, oh, here's my brother's friend Rob, by the way. So
a lot of brothers are jealous. Me, I'm like, marry my sister.
Yeah, please. Like, dude, since we were in college, you're like, hey, I got siblings.
I got two of them.
I was like, bro, I think they're still in high school. Let them graduate first, man.
I'm saving for the future. If you'd start putting in work back then.
We wouldn't have this conundrum now, is what you're saying. You're right. I don't know what I was thinking.
Anyways, Amanda made a delicious gluten-free lasagna. And I know you're rolling your eyes. Gluten-free.
I did not roll my eyes.
You would not know it was gluten-free at all.
I did not roll my eyes.
And the only thing that threw me is I was midway through it, and Laurel said, oh, it's made with cottage cheese.
Okay.
Yeah. But for some reason, I started thinking about cottage cheese.
What is it? Most lasagna made with cottage cheese?
Made with ricotta. Or mozzarella. This had mozzarella and cottage cheese.
Interesting. Okay.
So I don't know. If you're out there listening and you put cottage cheese into your lasagna.
I feel like it should be jarring, but it actually makes a lot of sense based
Yeah.
on like its consistency and kind of taste profile.
I mean, I ate it.
Well, I mean, I doubt you were going to be like, and like shovel it off into a plant. This isn't an '80s movie, motherfucker.
I wasn't there.
Oh, you weren't?
I could have thrown it away.
Oh, wait, so she brought it home.
Yeah, Laura brought it home.
Oh, okay.
She had the kids out till like 11 o'clock on a school night, by the way.
Serious?
Yeah. If I did that shit.
Hey, leave it alone.
Yep.
Don't die on that hill
No.
right there, bro.
You know who are dying on a hill? Or just
You and
trolling.
these goddamn segues. What I tell you about those fucking segues? Yeah.
That was a pretty good one. Speaking of dying on a hill, liberals have called out, I'm assuming they're liberals, but I think they're just trolls, have called out Melania Trump's 9/11 coat as ridiculous.
What 9/11
Did you hear
coat?
anything about this?
No.
Google Melania Trump 9/11 coat
Okay.
and just see what this is. It's like I very rarely fall on the side of Trump, and definitely not Melania, or more Melania than Trump, whatever. But she wore this coat for this photo op for 9/11.
Wow, it's like the first hit you pull up.
Yeah, and it says, "We will never forget 9.11.01."
Okay.
And you scroll down, and you look at her coat, and then look at the little stitching around the vent.
And it looks like the towers.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's dope.
With something flying into it.
Wait, are you serious?
You look at it.
I didn't. I was looking at. I didn't. It's just a small photo. Wait.
I mean, it looks more like.
Wait, not with something. Wait, she didn't. Really, with something flying into it?
It looks like that, but it's just the design of the coat.
Let me just blow this up some. Blow this up some.
Blow it up some. But it looks more like the. Is that the Lincoln Memorial?
No,
the one that Spider-Man jumped off?
It's a fucking button flap for the
for the vent.
Yeah, it's not anything flying into it. It's
exactly.
It's a triangle piece that buttons that holds the split in the coat shut.
Yeah, so if you need to run in a trench coat, you can.
Is that why that
I don't know. It's just design.
I mean, I honestly dig the coat. Coat's dope.
The coat's dope. I am never on the side of Melania Trump, really, unless it's against Donald Trump.
I mean, I'm definitely on her side because I feel like she is a cap. I feel like this is a caged woman situation. I feel like this is a Katie Holmes, a Tom Cruise kind of situation.
Maybe I'm always on her side because her eyes and the looks that she gives are just the best thing about this presidency.
I mean, it really is. If her eyes could give receipts, it would be like Macy's Day. It would be like Black Friday on a Macy's. It would just be.
That time she swatted his hand
away.
Oh my
God!
I must have watched that 20 times in a row.
Me too.
I was like,
it was so super choice. It was telling, but not telling enough. It was the right amount of telling. You're like, I bet they don't. I bet they have like separate bedrooms, separate. I bet everything about their lives is separate. I bet he does
everything.
I bet the last time he saw her like nude was like when he had sex to make that kid of theirs that he forgot about, I guess. Because there was something in the news this week where he was talking. She was sitting there, he was talking, and something came up, and like it was in reference to like their son, but he didn't reference the son correctly.
Yes, Melania's son is what he says.
Right. Oh, Melania's son?
And then Twitter erupts with, "He's your son too." That's me. That's me being like, Laurel's daughters.
Oh, we shouldn't laugh. But
it's so pip,
sweet.
actually. It's
yeah. It very well. Did you get around to watching Bill Burr's special this week?
Yes.
Okay.
Are you going to talk about Michelle Obama?
No, I was going to talk about how the Republicans have their wives in check.
Okay, well, pause that for a second.
Okay.
Because I was going to bring in how he talks about Michelle Obama and how the First Lady's job is basically no job at all.
No job at all, yeah.
And so it's kind of like this insult. And we all know that Michelle Obama did a ton of fucking work. She put in hours, and she did a ton of stuff. But he gets away with the joke because he compliments her later. And he says that Obama came out of 8 years of presidency, and he aged like 40 years.
Yeah, and
she actually looks younger. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's... Well, I definitely want to talk about it because I watched it again this morning before coming to record this.
Yeah. Do you think Melania actually does things?
No.
Be best?
No, I think in a long line of
first ladies,
I feel like she legitimately does nothing.
Yeah.
Like Like, you know, well, Bill's like, like how Michelle Obama just spent 8 years lying in a vat of Illuminati grade lotion. I feel like that is legitimately what Melania does. I feel like she's always lotioned and hydrated, and she's a kept woman. She's been a kept woman.
And he's
So
right.
now-
Besides, like Barbara Bush, we don't know a lot of Republican wives.
Not at all.
First ladies.
Like he was joking about not knowing Bush Jr.'s wife's name, and I had to think about it for a while. I was like, I think it's Laura. Like,
Was it Laura
think it's
Bush. It was
Bush.
Laura.
But yeah, he's dead right. I was like, and you go back and you look at like Republicans' wives. I mean, Nancy. Well, I know Nancy because she gave us Dare, fucking ragged.
Right.
But I mean, other than that,
Dare.
I don't really know. Like, yeah, who are Republicans' wives? What are their names? I couldn't tell you.
I didn't open up the article, but I think Serena Williams' husband wore a Dare shirt and was like getting shit for it.
Yeah, probably.
And I'm like, it's just a shirt.
Yeah,
It's a shirt from the
But
80s.
dude, we were talking about this last week. Like, we are in the age of where people want to be mad. Like, it doesn't take anything for people.
People don't want to be mad.
Yeah, exactly. I started, which kind of brought me to what I ended up being into this week, which is something it was a rewatch for me, but I found it to be so like legitimately more poignant now than when it was, I guess, aired. Like,
Was it Soul Man?
No, it wasn't fucking Soul Man. Which
That was the movie we couldn't think about last episode.
Which was
the blackface movie.
kind of a good
I kind of
movie.
want. I don't think I've ever seen it.
You've never seen Soul
I don't
Man?
think so. Not the
Oh,
whole way. I
okay,
think it was
then.
like on. I think it used to be on like USA.
Yeah,
like
I
in
mean,
the
they would-
80s for a while.
You could definitely. I remember you could catch it in syndication on cable.
Yeah.
At least once or twice a year.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen it in a while, but I thought it was a dope movie. I mean, they I mean, he got away with that shit. He got away with
What
it.
is it?
but-
What's the actor's name? Tom.
I don't remember.
The good.
I don't
Good. I'm
remember
glad
his
you
name.
don't, because right now we're making Joe Boyle freak out at home. He's like, it's Thomas. CJ something.
I love how much of a committed listener we have in Joe. That's really what I enjoy the most about this relationship. But should we start talking about? I mean, I know we're kind of talking about news right now.
That was the news. It was kind of a quiet week.
It kind of was, yeah. Other than the fact that it's the Tokyo Game Show going on right now.
What is happening at the Tokyo Game Show?
Oh my God, have you not? So you haven't? Okay,
No.
so you haven't seen any of the new gameplay for the Final Fantasy remake.
I did read about it. I was at work,
watch?
so I can't watch videos.
Okay.
So sometimes I'll read about
I see.
videos,
That's the saddest thing I've ever fucking heard of.
So I read all about the new gameplay for Final Fantasy VII.
Wow. Okay.
Cloud! Quickly! Barrett!
Give me a break!
Jesse! Barrett!
Where you been?
Tifa! Let's lay down some rubber!
Crank that throttle!
Okay, you got it.
Who's that?
A soldier.
Can't say this is quite what I had in mind when I asked for your help way back when.
Feels like we're flying high these days.
Now, more than ever.
He's a keeper, all right.
Yeah!
Well, Tokyo Game Show. The Tokyo Game Show is going on right now. It started on the 11th and it runs through the 15th. And it's basically like next to E3, it's probably one of the second biggest video game conventions, expos, or however you want to call it, on the planet.
Yeah.
And so like there was a bunch of shit that dropped. I mean, it's still going on right now. You still got a couple more days of it. But some of the stuff that came out of it most recently was Final Fantasy VII Remake gameplay. Death Stranding finally can tell you what Death Stranding is about. They gave you
Can you?
They gave you like a 50 minutes, almost like a whole hour's worth of new gameplay footage. And yeah, there's basically like a briefer where what's his face's character, the old boy from Norman Reedus, is getting like it's like the intro briefing to the game where they're telling you what you're supposed to be doing or whatever.
Oh God. Okay.
Yeah, I forget what they call it, but like whatever that thing
Basically,
is.
the tutorial section.
Yeah,
of-
it's like here's why you're gonna have a baby connected to your chest and climb mountains for seeing. Like I mean I still technically don't know what the hell I'm supposed to be doing, but I've watched a lot of the gameplay footage for it.
all I know is you have a ladder.
You have a ladder, you have ropes, and you're a courier. That's your job is couriering things from point A to point B in this game with I don't know.
I don't care. I'll just play it. Doesn't even matter to me.
I mean, it's a Kojima. I like the way his mind works.
Yeah.
He's kind of a
crazy,
insane genius.
I'm kind of glad that he doesn't make movies.
I don't know. I would love to see Kojima do something.
He could do that now if he wanted to. He totally could.
Yeah, it's
He's
true.
Scared.
But I mean, it may be fear.
I think
because,
so.
I mean, he's been a big fish in a little pond for a very long time, and to jump from that to making movies, that's a I mean, he's no longer going to be that big fish. He's going to be like a medium-sized fish in the ocean.
Shout out to Dave Correa who sent me a box of all his art. Did I
Cousin
talk about
Dave!
this? Did I talk about this with you?
But he
sent
sent you a box recently?
Yes.
No,
he sent me a humongous box of a ton of his art from Comic-Con and the record that I'd asked for him, which is Metal Gear Solid, the Hideo Kojima soundtrack to that game.
Cousin Dave, you're the shit, bro.
And he sent me all these pins that my kids immediately snatched up and put on their backpacks.
Of course they did.
They're like these great, like psychedelic skulls. Well, here's one. Here, you should have that one.
Speaking of
from Dave Correa.
Nice. That's weighty, bro.
I know, dude. Quality merchandise.
You said pins. I heard pens. I was like, oh, they snapped a bunch of pens? Yeah, well, they're kids, man.
That'd be great.
School. They should have pens.
Dave, make some pens as well as pins.
Yeah, that's fucking dope.
That's good. That's great, right? Dave Correa, art.com.
Yeah, Dave, these are cool as shit, man. Yeah, that's dope.
He sent me a T-shirt, too. I love the T-shirts.
That's dope.
But the record's from Mondo, and Mondo has that affiliation with Alamo Drafthouse.
Well, I mean, I gotta ask because now I'm your daughter, my goddaughter, kind of Patty LaPoned me last week when we were hanging out because her birthday's coming up. Our birthday is coming up.
Yes.
What do you? And you're getting the record player, right?
I don't think I am.
You don't think you are?
No.
Okay.
I gave her an option. I was like, what do you want? Talk to me about what you want. She's like, I want this, and this. And the two big things she wanted was the record player. And then she also wanted a video game. She wanted Super
game?
Mario Maker 2.
Oh, which I've actually heard really good things about.
Yeah. I would rather get her the record player, which is more expensive.
But cooler as a gift.
But cooler as a gift. But kind of more fragile, but could get her more into music.
Could get her more into music and could teach her the sense of like taking care of something that is fragile.
Or could lead her down a path of collecting music that could be catastrophic.
Also true.
Yeah.
It could be a lot of really little Uzi Verts and LPs. Well, do they even have that kind of shit on LPs now?
Uzi Vert? Yeah. All that stuff's on LP.
Really? You can get all that stuff on vinyl?
Yes. All that stuff has erupted in the last 5 to 10 years.
Well, I was reading this article. They said that for the first time in about 5 to 10 years, vinyl has outsold like
CDs.
Yeah, but like, who buys fucking CDs?
It could be digital, actually.
I think it might have been digital.
Because they started outselling CDs probably about 5 years ago.
Right. It was something momentous because I remember noting it. I was like, I should tell Larry about this, or I meant to send. I think I meant to send it to you, but I was doing something I didn't. But yeah, they're like, there's been a resurgence in like appropriation of vinyl. People are buying more vinyl,
which is great. But it's making all of these new releases. If you want to get like Old Town Road, for example, if you want to get Cardi B's new album, you're going to pay like $25 for it, and it's not going to appreciate that much because they're printing much more copies. Yeah. So stuff that they were printing 10 years ago, for example, they were printing much more limited releases of it, like 500, 1,000 copies of it. That was it. And if you wanted it again, they'd have to repress it. And the repress would be not worth that much. But the original copy from 10 years ago was now $75, $80,
Right.
All this new stuff because they're like, oh, God, vinyl's, blowing up. Print 2,000 copies. Print 20,000 of Cardi B's album. You know what I mean? Ugh. And it doesn't... So they don't really appreciate in value. The one that Cousin Dave got me from Mondo was Mondo's really smart about this. They release a version just for Comic-Con, right? And they know, and they only print 500 copies of it, and they know everybody will buy it and they'll sell it out. And then later they release another one that goes online and people buy that. That's a 2,000 probably copy release. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm on the fence about getting her the record player. I want to because I want her to be into records, but I don't know.
Well,
Or a video game. I don't
Well, you know
know.
what she asked? She asked me early on this year what she told me what she wanted. She was like, "Hey, I want Bluetooth earbuds.
Yes.
The ones like you have." And I was like, "Done. Easy money.
Yeah.
No problem. I got you." So I did that.
Oh, you already got them?
I bought 2 options. I gave her I bought 2 different pairs.
Oh, wow.
Because I figured. And this was well before last week happened when she was like, "Oh yeah, by the way, Grandma and Grandpa sent me these. I don't need those anymore." And I was like, "Oh,
Well, hold on.
no problem."
Yeah. The ones my dad gave her when we were in Florida, they're from like Marshalls. They're not great.
The one she has right now, those.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So they're not great. No offense, Dad, but he knows this. He knows
Yeah,
they're
right,
like
yeah.
$7.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if they're a better version than that,
I bought her 2 because I figured this is what my thinking was. I was like, "Look, I'm gonna give you the option. You can choose which style you would prefer to have, but then you got to give one of those to Daisy,
Right.
Because I feel like Daisy always gets overlooked on this birthday, especially.
she's the young kid. She gets the shaft.
And I'm never around for her birth. I'm never around for Daisy's birthday, but I always show up and I'm like, presents for Penn. So I figured this year I'd do the smart thing. I was like, look, whatever style you choose not to use, you got to give to Daisy.
Yeah.
And there's no take me gimsy backsies unless you both agree that that's how you want to roll it out. Then sure. But yeah. But now I'm caught between a rock and a hard place. Like I think I got to run up into GameStop sometime between now and Monday and be like, what to do? Yo, let me get 3 of those figurines, a couple of those Plinkos.
Well, did you already have them at home?
Oh yeah,
the
I've
headphones?
I've had them for like
Oh,
at
then
least a month.
just give her one of those.
I was gonna give them both,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like I don't know.
That's still very good. You know what's weird about kids now? Like when we were kids, right? You remember when the Walkman came out, right?
Speaking of, the Sony's releasing a 40th anniversary edition of the Walkman.
Yeah, well, cassettes are starting to sell again too.
Fuck you, Sony! I'm not buying.
Yeah.
Fuck you, no.
People are
That's
starting to
bullshit,
release things on cassette again.
Fuck you. That's bullshit.
It is bullshit.
I'm not playing that game with them.
Even though I have the cassette over there, I'm not doing it.
Fuck you! I'm not. No, fuck you with your 40th anniversary release of a Walkman. Well, no, that's a dead medium. Nobody's fucking going. We're not going back. I'm
Unless
not
that's a
going
Bluetooth
back.
player that I can stream Spotify from, then maybe I'll consider it.
I'm not going back, bro.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. You say it.
So kids now, right? If Penelope wants to listen to music, she has to either play it on the record player.
Okay.
Or she has to play it from a phone.
Right.
Because everything is linked to phones. Nobody has iPods anymore or Walkman or any of those things, right?
Yeah, I guess you're right. There is no like personal listening. Like your phone has become your personal listening device now.
So now anytime she wants to listen to music, she has to use my phone, which is fine if I'm here. But when I got to go to work, I got to take it with me. So I take the music with me.
That might be the doper present, bro. Get her a personal listening device that is actually like a personal listening device.
Those are hundreds of dollars.
Get the fuck out of here. Like what's a personal listen?
Because
do they even make iPods anymore?
Well, think about it. Because because what she wants to do is listen to her playlist that's on Spotify. Right? So if you're connected to Wi-Fi, that's free.
Right.
Okay. If you walk outside of your house down the street, it turns off.
Yeah,
You can download it.
Yeah.
Kind of,
sort of. Some of them.
I think with the premium option, if you pay $15.95 a month,
or like they'll let you. Yeah, you're right. It is the premium option.
If you want to listen to Jay-Z, you can't do it on Spotify.
No, you can't.
You have to go through Tidal.
Yep.
Right.
Or Pandora or something else,
and a bunch of other different things. Like, and all the major stuff is on there except for Jay-Z, but like, it's still this weird. It's just different.
Yeah.
So imagine walking down the street with Penelope, and she's got her Bluetooth headphones on, and she's listening to music that's in your pocket.
Yeah.
It's a little strange, right?
Yeah, I hear you.
So I'm like, kind of want to get her a record player because then she can listen to at least her records in her room,
right?
You know. She doesn't have to worry about. I think there's a.
Is
I'm so delicate with all my stuff. I think
Right.
she's a little. They're a little like, oh, we don't want to mess it up, and I'm like,
is the record player you're getting her? Is it Bluetooth optional? Because if
that's a good question.
I mean, because if it is sort of like, I mean, this is a new age. The technology is kind of there. If the technology is there where you could listen to a record Bluetooth style, that'd be kind of fucking fly.
That would be
fly
pretty
as
cool.
fuck.
Yeah.
Like if your record player right now allowed you to like wear your headphones and like do the dishes while you were listening to music.
Yeah.
I don't know why you would need that because you're at home, but.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a couple options. Like, the record player I have here is connected to an amp that goes to the Technique speakers, and it's pretty much only plays music in this room. But when we do, like, Thanksgiving, we're out in the living room, right?
Right.
We're still listening to music here, so it's kind of like, it's not not quite as immediate. So you can get a Bluetooth option that plugs into the amp that can stream it to your other amp.
That'd be cool.
Could be cool. Could be not great. I don't know. Yeah. Anyways,
yeah. Tangent.
Thank you for listening. Stan TV show has now cast its Randall Flagg. Did you ever read the Stan book, Stephen King book, The Stand?
No.
Did you ever see the Gary Sinise miniseries? It was around in the 90s.
No.
No? Really? About the apocalypse, into the world?
No.
It's a pretty good one. It's still
The Stand?
Yeah, The Stand. About a plague that kind of wipes out humanity, and there's like souls, there's like survivors, and they kind of come to. It's like one of the first apocalyptic like kind of fiction stories that made the mainstream. Anyways, so Randall Flagg is basically the devil. He's like this evil walking dude. It's a 1978 book, so it's been around for a while, but it's basically about the ultimate battle between good and evil set during the apocalypse. But you get to watch the fall of mankind happen. Excuse me. And so they cast... they've already cast James Marsden as Stu Redman. That was the Gary Sinise character. Amber Heard as Nadine Cross. Greg Kinnear as Glenn Bateman. Odessa Young as Fran Goldsmith.
This is a Stephen King property?
Yes. It's another one of those, like, 1,500-page books. But
is it as problematic as it is?
No. there's no orgies. There's no
it's
children
so
orgies.
problematic, man. Like, I was good right up until you started saying it was Stephen King, because then my mind just started flashing back, and I'm like, the fuck? And like, nobody, like, when the book came out and people read it, nobody was like, whoa, Stephen.
Whoa.
The fuck, bro?
We know this is the 80s.
I know, but still, man,
on.
this is... You out of pocket, man. It's out of pocket, bro. I mean, it's out of pocket. They let him keep writing. I'm sorry.
It went through an editor, too, by the way.
I know. Somebody else had to read it and be like, all right, yeah, that sounds good. All right,
Red
Steve,
check mark? Okay. Moving on.
Bro, it's problematic to me now. Like, it colors so much of the shit for me now, Will, man.
Anyways, Alexander Skarsgård
Go ahead.
Is Randall Flagg.
Oh.
You know who Alexander Skarsgård is?
The name sounds familiar. Is he one of the brothers?
I don't know if he's related to the Skarsgård dynasty. He's the guy he's in like that show True Blood with Regina Wesley, the blonde. You never watched True Blood?
No. Here's the thing, because it's funny. It's interesting the things that you bring up, because they somehow always kind of deal with things that I was thinking about during the week. One of the things I was into this week was that show Carnival Row.
Right.
And
so you got into it?
No, I didn't.
I told you it was bad.
I feel like I figured out it has the same problems that I had with True Blood.
Yeah,
it's the same. Like, it's almost identical to like that way of the storytelling that True Blood kind of does. And I was like, I watched 3 episodes of that shit this week, and I was like, and I really wanted to be into it.
How many episodes did you watch last week? How many episodes are you into it?
No, last week I started it and only went halfway through the episode and turned it off.
Okay.
This week I was like, all right, I'm going to sit down. I'm going to commit.
I really hate myself, but I'm going to
do this. And I watched 3 full episodes back to back. And no.
Yeah, he was in Big Little Lies too.
Not
Alexander Skarsgård. Doesn't matter. He's a blonde-haired guy. He's Tarzan. You saw that remake Tarzan from like 3 years ago. Mm-mm. You don't. When Tarzan comes on, you're like, oh man, Tarzan, I gotta watch it.
Like a white guy rolling around Africa, like just talking to animals and saving things as your white savior type dude. Fuck out of here. Look, I'm sure he's a swell actor. I'm sure he's real swell. I couldn't like, and I wanted to be into True Blood because Regina was on it.
It's not good.
It suffers. Like I guess I'll talk about it right now because I wasn't into it this week, but for these reasons.
Yeah, this isn't the what we into section.
This isn't the what we into section.
This can be your what we're not into section.
Well, it's not going to be so much what I was not into, but I did watch it this week, and I watched it with acclaim because I
talking about Carnival Row still.
Yes. Talking about Carnival Row because there was a couple of friends of mine who did some of the costume work and things on that show. But as I was watching it, I was watching it with this kind of bias as I really wanted it to be good, and taking nothing away from sort of the acting. The acting is all fine, but the script itself, the practical stuff, it's just not good. It's not there. It's not right.
Right.
I think they were trying to get. I think they were trying to get it sold on like the fact that there's not a lot, but there's nudity. It's graphic. Like you see like a lot of like really gnarly. Like at one point, this fair. It's about fae folk. It's about fairies and stuff. And at one point, you see this fairy not get ripped apart, but you see sort of what happens after, like the body strewn and like it's
right.
It's graphic.
Okay.
And I think they were trying to sell it on
They're
this
like,
graphic.
we don't have a good story, but
there's fairy sex.
we got good costumes.
And it's gnarly.
And we got good designers. Yeah.
Kind of like, and here's where it fell down for me. It fell down for me in the representation of the fae folk. Mm-hmm. Like, so at least in this world, it seemed to me that there was only two types of fae folk. There were fae folk with wings, so like fairies, and then the other fae folk were basically like horned beings, like they had ram horns. And it started to fall down when the actual prosthetic makeup of the horns looked like they went to like Target and said, give me some helmets, as many as you can buy, and I'm going to just stick helmets on. So
like a face-off reject.
Kind of,
like didn't make it past the second or third episode.
Yes, like a face-off reject. Like all of them. Like, so you have this world where fine. There are only two types of fae folk in this world: horned things and flying things. Fine. But all the horn things kind of look the same based on the way you do this prosthetic thing. That was the first sort of like, man, I'm all right. And then there aren't any. There's no diversity.
Oh yeah,
there's no diversity. And then when the diversity does show up,
everybody knows fairies are white.
And then when the diversity shows up, it's in the one character who is a horned guy. And in this world, fae folk are disenfranchised. They're in the minority. Like their country was basically overrun by humans, and they've been driven out. And now they live in the human world and do all the menial shit, the menial jobs, until the one diverse character that's a part of like the larger cast is a black actor, and he shows up and he's a fae folk, but he's a rich one, and he moves into the all white upper establishment neighborhood.
Are they shitty to him in the neighborhood? Are they like, no, you can't move in here?
Exactly.
They're
basically
down our
like,
prices.
well, we'll just ignore him because bip, bip, bip.
Once he comes, the houses' prices, they go down, the schools, they suffer.
That's basic. They like the characters basically have that conversation like when that character shows up, and I was like,
what is this, 1989?
I was like, of all the choices to do, and I know the argument. I know the argument would be, oh well, it's modeled after London, it's modeled after European culture, this, that, and the third, but that's fucking dumb. You're reinforcing old and disingenuous stereotypes of people. The one black actor that
are now tropes as well. That are things that we've already seen many times before. It's not that these things don't still exist, because they do.
Right. So
but it's just like, because this type of thing happens to me too, and it's not that I'm against the portrayal of showing oppression, but sometimes I'm to the point where I'm like, give me something new about it. Give me just don't make the easy choice.
And this is what they did. They made the easy choice. I was like, you guys. You got Orlando Bloom to sign off on it. You got all these different people. You got all these great, all this great creative. But you don't think about like that was somebody made that choice.
Yeah.
Because there's nobody he's the one black there's probably other black actors in the show mixed, that kind of thing where they can pass.
Right.
But the one black guy you have be this, it put me off, and I was like, all right, I'm out.
You know what? Some people were also put off by... This is actually a good segue.
See there? You're welcome.
Okay. Some people were also put off by the loose... And I kind of shut you down on this earlier, but then once I started thinking about it, you were right. The not great kind of loose portrayal...
already, huh?
Yes, gaslighting. Mm-hmm. Is it getting darker in here? No, it's the same. Why is your hand on the light switch? It's the loose portrayal of Richie in It Chapter 2 being gay or possibly homosexual. I kind of shut it down because what I was thinking is from the book. I didn't remember any references from that. So I was just thinking and I was also kind of tired watching the movie, that was just sort of like they were friends. But when I read back and kind of read an article about it,
and I was right. I did glean that was what was going down.
I think that was definitely what was intended. Yeah, because they sort of in the book there's some hate crimes towards kind of like gay men. They're just like in the movie. They beat that guy
which was
at the beginning.
interesting to me because that's why I asked you about it. I was like, is this hate? Well, you told me you were like, this hate crime that happened in the book, and I was like, huh. So that immediately made me wonder. Well, then is Richie's character, because they do have that, and is it Eddie, Richie and Eddie?
Yeah, Richie and Eddie, yeah.
And like the whole way through their introduction, their sort of portrayal in this movie was this like back and forth married couple kind of thing, and then the last image you saw of him was him, carving their initials basically into that bridge. So I was like, wait. Is Richie gay?
Yeah.
Is that what they... And then there was that the flashback scene where he's in the arcade with what's-his-face, cousin or whatever,
right.
and there's that... They have that moment, and I was like, wait, are they lining us up to the...
Yeah, Henry Bowers comes out and basically like, you're gay.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, and the other kid's like, yo, I don't do that.
I don't do that.
Yeah.
So,
it's too subtextual.
It was a subtextual kind of thing. Yeah. I was like, is this character gay?
Yeah.
And has he been... Was it that he was gay with Eddie?
Yeah. I don't think that... I think the film intended to not really ever show that they had a relationship, but there was still sort of some desire there.
Uh-huh.
And that as Bill Hader's character grows older, he still hasn't dealt with it. And Pennywise sort of kind of plays on it in the movie, but they never really bring it to the foreground.
Huh.
And so it just kind of becomes another example of
a missed opportunity for some good storytelling.
Yeah, or just a missed opportunity just come out and say, yeah, this character now believes he's gay. You know what I mean? Maybe they were upset that that veered a little too far from the book. There's mild suggestions of it in the book, but not
overt.
Not overt, but just give us some gay characters. It's okay. Make Dumbledore gay. Have him kiss somebody else in the movie. It's okay.
Yeah. Well, that leads me to. So I was on the way here, and our longtime listener, full-time friend, Sean Calloway, sent me this text message about...
I have a comment from Mr. Sean Calloway.
Do you?
Yeah.
Well,
later.
He sent me this text message about this Star Wars documentary that someone's making, attempting to decipher a 40-year-old mystery. Have you heard about this? So apparently, thank you, Sean, for this, by the way, because no, I hadn't heard about this.
I might have heard of the mystery, but just read it off and let me know.
So a UK documentary is apparently setting out to learn which actor was the Star Wars stormtrooper who famously banged his head in one of the cinema's most famous bloopers.
Yeah. You know what that is, right?
I don't know what this is. This is the
if you
first one.
If you Google Stormtrooper bangs his head, you'll see a video.
Is this the first movie? Is this it's in the first one, right?
In A New Hope, there's a bunch of Stormtroopers, and they're kind of like running after Han Solo at one point, and they kind of go through a door, and one of them bangs his head. And then they just put it in. And it's great. I mean, it's just, it's been a meme for a while, but it's there.
So, Star Wars fans will apparently learn which of at least 3 men who all claim to have been the unfortunate extra was actually concussed by a spaceship, and which of them is either lying, misremembering, or most likely also hit his head on that same low-hanging door but was not caught on film.
And see, that's what I would say. I would say that in those helmets with restricted vision, they
There's
probably all banged
did that, yeah.
And plus, you're also all, like, if you put me and you in Stormtrooper stuff,
that's ridiculous.
I look about a foot taller than you, with lots of muscle, so they would know which one was me clearly. They'd be like, that short guy, that's Rob. But the tall dude, that's Larry.
Oh, yeah.
But if we were similar sizes...
That checks out.
You wouldn't know which one was us.
Oh man!
I will watch that.
So that I thought that was cool. I didn't know that. I'm surprised I didn't know that. But yeah, apparently Kevin Smith is going to show up in it, and some of these famous nerds that we know and kind of tolerate.
Yeah. if they can't remake the original Star Wars, they'll just keep making documentaries about it.
I guess. Ugh. What else you got?
I got Joaquin Phoenix allegedly stormed off the set of The Joker.
Oh yeah, a bunch of times apparently.
A bunch of times. Apparently that movie's great. It just won. Yeah. It just beat out a Roman
in France.
It beat out, yeah, exactly. It won some kind of award, the Gold Prestige France Award,
or
something like that. And it beat out a Roman Polanski movie.
No shit.
Yeah. A convicted
I mean, we say that like
child molester.
I mean, I feel like that it doesn't take much to beat out a child, alleged child molester. Hell, he did that shit.
Yeah,
he did that shit.
I ask you this every week, but are you excited for this movie, The Joker?
I'm not gonna say I'm excited. I am cautiously hopeful.
Cautiously, that's a good way to be.
I'm definitely cautiously hopeful, but the fanfare and the acclaim leading up to it seems to be on point with what I was kind of like when I heard that they were making it, and like I said on some of the previous podcasts, the recipe seems right.
It does, yeah.
The recipe seems right. Will the souffle rise? Is the question, and it sounds like it has risen.
Sometimes you never know. Sometimes you think it is.
Right.
Sometimes you look in the oven,
and you're like,
that's rising for sure.
Got it. And then you crack that oven door, pop, and shoo,
it's all flat. It deflates. Yeah.
But so I like Joaquin. I like him for. Apparently, they wrote this specific script with him in mind.
Apparently that wasn't enough, though.
Really?
Well, yeah.
Really?
Because
was why he walked off?
This is the New York Times article.
Okay. Wait.
And Todd Phillips is the director, and he says, in the middle of the scene, he'll just walk away and walk out. And the poor other actor thinks it's them, and it was never them. It's always him, and he just wasn't feeling it. And he goes on to defend Phoenix, and he's like, sometimes he's not in the moment. It's a very demanding role, and sometimes it takes some time to get it. But then he says, interestingly, that Phoenix never did this when he was in scenes with Robert De Niro. Like, he only did this with other actors.
Well, I mean, would you do it? Like, honestly, I think I would. If you reach the level that Joaquin has reached.
Like Wesley Snipes.
Okay.
I can see Wesley Snipes doing it. I was thinking about Blade 3. Walking out on Ryan Reynolds.
Right.
Staying in the trailer. Right.
I feel like, I feel like when you reach that level that Joaquin has reached, if you're in a scene with somebody who is De Niro level, I mean, Joaquin is not De Niro level yet.
Not yet.
So yeah, you're not gonna disrespect that. Like it would be like if I was doing this role and it was, instead of Joaquin, it was Denzel. I'm not walking out on Denzel. Denzel could walk out on me. He's earned that. Joaquin ain't gonna do but like if I'm in the scene with I don't know.
What about Denzel Washington's son?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely walking on that.
Was it like David or something? David Washington?
I have no idea.
He's a Black Klansman guy. The main dude from Black Klansman.
That's Denzel's son?
That's Denzel's son, yeah.
The guy who played the cop?
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah,
fuck, I'd walk out on him like twice on Sundays.
It's funny because like I'm happy to have him because he's a good actor. You know what I mean? And he's kind of Denzel Washington-esque, But at the same time, part of me is also like, you just decided. You were just like, one day somebody's like, hey, you know what you should do? And he's like, acting? And they're like, yeah. And he was like, all right.
Yeah.
And they're like, great.
Who's not going to hire Denzel's son?
Exactly.
Right? Yeah. No, fuck that. No.
Would you ever walk out on set on somebody?
I think it would. It's a lot of factors to determine that. Me personally, I don't think so. But I mean, who knows?
Would it be because the other actor was a bad actor, or would it because the role was so demanding?
It would have to be me. It would. I feel like when you're talking about acting, it's sophisticated pretend.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It's not real.
Yeah.
It's
not like this podcast.
It may feel real. You can approximate realness in it. But at the end of the day, it's sophisticated pretend. So. Yeah. If I couldn't get there, I'm not gonna. It's even if it is that motherfucker's problem. Like if it's sort of like you're not giving me anything to go off of, I'm not gonna put it on that person. It's gonna be my problem. I'm gonna make it.
You're gonna be like, excuse me, Todd Phillips, director of The Joker. Can we fire that guy? Fire him. Get him out of here.
Todd, will you? Yes, send craft services in.
Yeah.
Okay. Cheryl, I'm gonna need 3 key lime pies. 3. Yep. Okay. Now. Oh, thank you.
There's too much horseradish in this.
And then I'm just
cocktail
gonna
sauce.
start hitting motherfuckers with pies. just you getting pied.
It's in character for the Joker.
Hit a motherfucker with a pie.
Bam! I'm a clown, motherfucker. Didn't see that coming. Do the rest of the scene with pie on their face.
No, but yeah, I
it sounds about right for Joaquin Phoenix.
I think so. I think it's on par. I think it's on par for him.
it's also on par for his brand. I feel like he's kind of a dick, and people are just like, "Man, all right."
It's okay. You know, Joaquin kind of feels like to me. He kind of feels like the poor, and this is dumb. I feel like the poor man Sean Penn.
Poor man Sean Penn.
That's
Do you think Joaquin Phoenix is not as good as an actor as Sean?
No, I
Sean Penn?
think he is as good of an actor as Sean Penn, but they have a lot of the same sort of proclivities.
Yes.
I think. But like I feel like Sean Penn has been around longer and is a little bit more acclaimed than Joaquin is. So I feel like in that way, Joaquin's a little bit more like the poor man Sean.
Did you watch Sean Penn's astronaut show First Man?
No.
There's also a Ryan, not Felipe,
Reynolds.
Not Reynolds. Maybe is it Ryan? What's
Gosling?
Gosling. Ryan Gosling movie First Man, which is really good. But it had First Man, the TV show on Hulu. Unfortunately, starring Sean Penn, came out at the same time as that movie. And it's also about Sean Penn's the first man to go to Mars, whereas Ryan
Gosling. Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ. Gosling is the first man to land on the moon.
And they're both named First Man? How'd they get away with that?
I don't know. It's just,
isn't that like illegal or something?
No.
You can't have the same thing?
No, not at all.
No?
I mean, no.
Wow. Okay.
One's a TV show about going to Mars. The other one's a TV show about landing on the moon.
There could be a Chinese version of this podcast somewhere. What? Wishing Wang in... Yeah, that's terrible. I'm sorry, guys.
I was giving you the eyes don't
I'm sorry.
Do it.
I don't know Mandarin.
At least you got that right.
Well, there are different... I mean, there's Mandarin is the most, most spoken, but there is... Mandarin, what's the other one?
Cantonese.
Canton.
Yeah. You didn't get that right, but I got that right. So we're a team here.
Well, I mean...
a team of bias and racism at what we into. But no, all these scenes of Sean Penn is like, he's like ripped. And Sean Penn's like, I don't know, like 55 or something. He's like ripped in this TV show in a way that you're like, dude...
That's unbelievable.
That's you working out like 5 days a week for 6 hours a day to get that ripped.
Right.
And the only thing that they showed him doing was like holding weights and like running at the bottom of a pool multiple times over and over.
Really?
That was his workout routine.
Oh, I mean, did it serve to like illuminate his psychosis?
I don't know because I didn't finish it because it kind of sucked.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I think Sean Penn is a good actor. I think he suffers from a little bit of feeling himself too much.
Yeah,
and maybe that's why we don't see him as often as we used to.
If they did a sequel to The Joker in 15 years and it starred an elderly Joker, would you cast Sean Penn? Is there an elderly Joker in the DC canon?
Yeah, there is.
Old Joker.
Batman kills him.
Is that you talking about The Dark Knight?
Yeah.
I knew I should have brought up. There's a piece of news that they're bringing back The Dark Knight Returns. There was Frank Miller's version. Then Frank Miller had a sequel.
That was a good one.
The sequel was not that good.
No.
But there's another one coming out that's a sequel to those two.
Did Frank Miller do them?
No. He may have written the story. I don't know. Whatever. He's kind of a dumpster fire these days.
Yeah.
So who knows what's going on with Frank Miller.
Poor guy. I mean, he made that Hollywood money. He got that Hollywood money in him, and then he lost his ever-loving mind. Because, I mean, for the longest time, he'd spent his life as a comic book artist.
Yeah.
And, making comic books, and that wasn't really up until recently, it wasn't really a lucrative...
No.
Career choice. And I feel like once he got a little bit of the taste, he started, snorting coke off of hookers more readily, and once you get your first Vegas trip,
I wouldn't say hookers. I would say cosplay ladies.
Okay, fair,
dressed in like Robin outfits.
Fair, yeah, fair. Good
Boy Wonder, come here.
Good, yeah, probably.
So let's see. Where am I going here? I know where I'm going.
What's up?
I'm going to... Brendan Fraser has said that if there's a fun way to approach a fourth Mummy film,
movie, he'll come back.
He'd be back.
I heard that too.
He says, absolutely. Just gotta say, I know how hard it is to make that movie. I tried to do it 3 times, and all of them sucked. He didn't have that part. And the essential ingredient is fun. They were all fun. I'll give him that much.
I think they were all... Even that last one, which was the worst of the 3.
You watched it recently with Daisy.
Yeah, I did.
What was it? Which one is that? That's the
it's the one with Jet Li and Michelle Yeoh.
It's got Yetis in it.
Yes.
Yetis throwing snowballs.
It's so bad.
A dragon, emperor's dragon.
Something
like that.
It's basically Mummy 3, the Tomb of the Dragon Emperor or something like that. It's a shit show. It's from start to finish. It's just utter and ridiculous mess. But they're fun movies. I was entertained the whole time, even though I was like, that's the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
I like Brendan Fraser. He kind of fell off the map and got fat after that. So
yeah. Do you like him in Doom Patrol?
I love him in Doom Patrol.
Me too.
I love fat Brendan Fraser.
Stay fat, man.
Stay fat,
cool.
bro.
Do it, bro.
I love fat Thor. I love fat Brendan Fraser. Maybe I'm moving into the loving of fat part of my.
It's weird how the older
life.
we get, and the more we stay in shape, of course.
Yeah.
But the fatter actors get, the more we appreciate it.
Yeah, it's weird.
We're
like
not
that.
like that.
Well, I mean, Carl Weathers looks great. You see that?
It looks like 5 years later.
I was like, fuck. I was like, were you the first lady in the White House, motherfucker?
Michelle Obama of Star Wars.
You're the Michelle Obama right now. Oh my god. Okay, so here's a bit of news.
Okay.
Adidas is making a new Star Wars sneaker.
Are they?
It looks like shit.
Yeah, they always do.
It looks like something you would get at like Walmart. It looks awful.
They've done this with like Cowboy Bebop. They've done this with Stranger Things.
They've done it with a few things that I've actually liked a lot of them. Like they've done it with Dragon Ball. They've done it with.
There's like a Shawshank Redemption sneaker.
It is not. That's not true.
Probably.
That's not true. You can't say that shit because I was bought. I was like, really?
Shawshank. I'll buy that. Take my money.
He's a Andy Dufresne came to Shawshank Penitentiary.
Shut up and take my money. The Morgan Freeman edition.
Yeah, exactly.
Got a little gray around the foxing.
So there's that, and so Anthem has gone the way of subscription.
Again?
Again? What do you mean again?
I thought. Well, okay. Anthem, the video game.
Yeah,
the colossal bomb from BioWare.
Yeah.
I thought that they paid for a physical copy. You had to pay money, but then at one point in the news, you're like, Anthem is going to be free.
Yeah. No. It's a subscription now. They just here's the news. Anthem's ignominious fall from BioWare's next big thing to oh dear hasn't hit rock bottom just yet. I mean, that's some shade.
Clutch my pearls.
That's some shade right there. Damn, I don't know who wrote that shit, but that's God. All right, scathing. As today, it was announced that the game is being added to EA's subscription catalogs. Both EA Access and Origin Access subscribers will be able to download and play this base game for free as of today. So okay. I guess if you paid for like a subscription to. Either you pay for an EA subscription or whatever this Origins Access is, you can play it for free.
Cool.
It's I guess it's kind of. I feel like the way this article makes it sound like it hasn't hit rock bottom. I'm pretty sure that this is rock bottom.
It hit rock bottom like a month ago.
2 months ago. I think it hit rock bottom when I played the demo and was like, nah. No.
All the people still playing it are like, I don't know, like 12-year-old kids whose parents got them the game.
No, that's not even.
And that's the only video game that they got that year. And they're like, shit.
No, that's not even
We're
true.
stuck with this.
Because, I mean, kids have Fortnite's free. And most motherfuckers I know
That's
can
true.
play Fortnite. They have phones.
Kids have it so good these days.
They have no idea.
They can Bluetooth any song they want at any point. They just got to have their dad's phone.
I'm not going to get on it, but, happy Friday 13th, by the way.
Oh, that's today, isn't it?
Yeah. Shout out to Jason Voorhees.
Yeah. What's up, Jace? How you doing?
In this, but one of the things
he is one of the worst like villains of all time. I'm sorry.
Is he though?
Yeah,
a kid who was bullied. Who these kids?
No. The backstory is great. The backstory is wonderful.
Oh, okay.
What I don't like is like you shoot him 100 times and he's fine. He's coming at the door. You lock the door.
He comes through the wall.
You breathe 3 times heavy. You turn around. And he's like right there. So in my mind, what I keep picturing is he's at the door, he scares you, he moves out of your sight, and then he sprints down to the back of the house, jumps over the stairs, opens the door as quietly as possible, and sneaks up right behind you like,
he Ferris Bueller's the shit out of you is what he does.
Like, it's just...
that scene where he's running through backyards and jumping off of things and springboards.
Exactly.
Yeah. Just to be gotcha, bitch.
He is an athlete. Jason Voorhees is a secret athlete.
I'd buy that.
He stretches.
He's wearing a hockey mask. Duh.
That makes sense.
Casey Jones was an athlete.
Get some skates on this dude. Because he's got to be so
but
good.
I mean, skates in a woodland areas. I don't know how that's gonna play out.
Yeah.
I mean,
I can just
rocket skates.
I can see my cousin Dave just shaking his head right now. Just like, fuck you guys. He's like horror royalty.
Is he?
Yeah. Jason Voorhees.
Like, how dare you besmirch Jason Voorhees? Cousin Dave takes his monocle off.
Puts out his paintbrush.
Glove. Slaps the screen. That's amazing.
I got three last things.
Okay,
One of them really quick. HBO is developing another Game of Thrones prequel focused on the Targaryens' destruction.
The fall of them, yeah. Snorefest.
I don't know. Whatever.
Do not care.
Can we just move on from Game of Thrones?
I feel like we should. I feel like I did that after that first season. I moved on. I was waiting for the rest of you motherfuckers to catch up. I was like, what? I'm over here in 2020. Where's the rest of y'all? You're like, we're watching this compelling drama that has dragons and dire wolves and white people.
It was really good for a while. Okay, it was really good for a while.
It was really good for about the first episode.
Now we're all over it until it comes out again, and we'll be like, "Oh, it's so good!" And I'll make you watch it again.
It was legitimately the first episode was the best one.
George R.R. Martin is set to co-executive produce alongside Ryan J. Condal from Colony.
He finished that damn book yet?
No.
Then fuck that dude. I don't give a damn.
I know, right?
Why don't you spend less time being involved in some shows and write the fucking books, asshole?
You don't even read the book.
I don't care. Other people do, and that's the problem. I feel like if you had spent more time writing the damn books, we wouldn't come to this point in the series where people are like, the fuck's going on in the world? Even the actors were like you saw all the footage of people asking them about that final season, like the what was it? What would they call that? The quick cuts, or like where they just show you like several of them answering in a row. I forget what they called it, but like you saw this shit where they were like, huh?
I gave up when I read portions of the script. They were like, where they started
that was
referring
after
to
the fact.
I know where they started referring to like things, contemporary things like Hiroshima.
Like we hadn't even seen that till like at least a month after the show had finished. We're like, so like, let me ask you this: if you had gotten a hold of that script before this last season had aired, would you have still watched that last season?
I would have had much more serious reservations. I would have, like we're preparing for the Joker, braced myself for total suckage.
Right.
I would have been prepared.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
I was not prepared for how bad this was going to suck.
Off a precipice. Okay.
Now, maybe I'll rewatch it next
off
month.
A precipice.
And we'll see what happens. But so I got two actor shout-outs I want to talk about.
Go ahead.
Two actors I know. For the Umbrella Academy, Marin Ireland was recently cast for the second season. Marin Ireland did some work with Rami back in the day, like 10 years ago. Very, very sweet girl. I met her quite a few times. She would come to supper. Her mother is a doll. Super, super sweet lady. So she's an actor I know. Another actor I know, Raul Castillo. He is cast in the Zack Snyder Army of the Dead.
Cool.
He's dating a friend of mine, Alexis. I don't know if I should put that out there.
Yeah.
Cut it in post. He's not dating anyone I know.
Fix it in post. Putting motherfuckers in the street.
He's a sweet guy. He came to Gersi Restaurant last night, and I've seen him a few times. He's just a nice guy. It's just nice to see that people you know who are genuinely nice people are getting work. Unlike you and I.
Yeah. I'm a monster.
But still.
I feel like that's probably why. I'm a monster.
You were a terrible person.
I kind of am.
I'm an awful person.
I mean, did you hear me do that Chinese impression earlier?
That was terrible.
Oh, my God.
You do that at every audition, too, by the way. I've been meaning to tell you.
But that's how I feel inside.
Note. That's how I feel. Now that's funny.
I mean, that's a callback to last week. You gotta be listening.
Now that's funny. What else you got?
I think that's it. I mean, most of the other stuff that I was going to get into, it's basically what the news that I have for what I was into. So
We can save for next episode.
I'm good.
I'm your host, Lawrence Dial.
And I'm your boy, Rob Carmen Robinson.
You can send us an email to whatweinto@gmail.com. We're on Facebook, What We Into. Dial_Lawrence for Twitter. You can hit us up. You can send us $1 or buy Penelope a video game for her birthday if you want at patreon.com.
Or me.
Or Rob. If you want to buy Rob a video game, he needs one.
I would love a new one. I haven't been playing anything.
We should get a P.O. box so we can just get people to send us stuff.
Does that work? Dude, that only works if we're hot girls. We're not hot girls. Hot girls get whatever they want. They're like, this is what I want for my Amazon list, and people will buy it for. We're not hot like that.
Right. We will send you used bath water if you want it.
No, we won't. You take baths? Nobody take no baths.
I take baths.
When's the last time you took a bath, motherfucker?
I don't take baths.
Exactly.
Gross.
I mean, I took a bird bath 2 weeks ago and I didn't have time to shower.
It's showered.
You shower in the sink.
Yeah.
You splash water under the pits and you.
Yeah, as Laurel says, pits, arms, and tits.
Yeah. So she's got it.
Patreon.com/whatweinto. You can send us money. We'll buy things with it. And that's about it.
Holla.
Later, haters.
Like the bread. You're not making that a thing. I refuse to let you make that a thing.
It is a thing.
Later, haters. Kill yourself.